Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah if you're new here, and this week we are going to be cooking. Yay! So this week we are going to be trying our hand at fried rice. And I know what you're probably thinking, like that's not really a beginner thing. But I will tell you that this recipe is one of my mom's making. She made it really simple so that she could make it quickly and with just simple things that we had in our kitchen. So it's gonna be easy, and I trust you there's no weird things that you won't have in your pantry. So this is a very simplified version of fried rice. It's not the kind that you might get at a Chinese restaurant. It's not like that. It's really simple, nothing extra, just the basics. So if you do want to try your hand at something a little bit more dressy, like adding vegetables and an egg, that's totally fine. That's up to you. But our family, we like ours super simple, quick, easy, and also we sometimes put a fried egg on top so that the yolk kind of adds to it. But that's like a personal preference. Not everyone likes fried eggs. I think the hardest part would be cooking the bacon, and I have lots and lots of instructions for cooking the bacon because I know it can be daunting, but you can do it. A little practice, and yeah, so let's get into making this fried rice. So what you're going to need: overnight rice. Overnight rice is rice that my family made the night before. We end up just using the leftovers for fried rice, so that's what I mean by overnight rice. Onion, bacon, soy sauce, salt, pepper, and garlic salt. We are going to start out by cutting our bacon. So we just get, I actually don't know what kind of bacon we get. I guess I could read the package on the playback, or you can. I don't know. I just use whatever my mom buys at the store, and I think she just buys whatever is there. So whatever bacon that you like, you're gonna cut it into small pieces. You don't want to cut them too small because bacon naturally shrinks like any meats that you cook. It will shrink to a smaller size, so you don't want to make them too small. So I stuck to like a nice square. Then you're going to throw it all onto a pan at a medium-high heat. If you have numbers like ours, it will be, I think I have ours set to like a 5, I think. That's usually where I set ours. And you're going to cook it like that until it is almost cooked. So you want to continuously move the bacon. So I don't mean like constantly stirring a soup. I mean by letting it sit for maybe like a minute and then flipping each piece over. This will seem really tedious, but if you're new to cooking bacon, I think this will give you a good basis of what you're looking for. The more advanced that you are with cooking, the less tedious the work is. Like you'll see in the video, I don't individually turn each piece of bacon. I just end up scooping it and flipping it around. I think what also helps is moving the placement of the bacon. Because even though we do have a new stove, as you see, the middle of the pan will naturally be the warmest. So you're going to want to switch out which pieces are on the outsides of the pan to the pieces that are on the inside middle of the pan, because those will naturally cook faster, and the less in sync your pieces of bacon are in cooking, the more difficult it will be, because you'll have some like more crispy pieces and like some kind of undercooked. So you want to be constantly mixing them around. While you're cooking the bacon, we're going to season the rice. I do this right when I put the bacon onto the pan while the pan is heating up, because I don't need to be constantly moving the bacon. So this is a good time to season your rice. So I just add the soy sauce, salt, pepper, and garlic salt. This does kind of take a while to figure out the right amount. I try to aim for covering the bottom part of my like rice clump, but sometimes that does turn out to be too salty, because the bacon is salty, so you don't want to add too much salt. I think it's more of like playing it on the safe side and not adding so much salt, because it is garlic salt, and soy sauce. So just play that by ear. You can always add more later. That's my philosophy. Okay, so back to my comment as to cooking it until it was almost fully cooked. So you don't want to cook it all the way. You'll know what I mean by all the way. It will be almost a completely different color. But you don't want to do that, because you still have to add all your other ingredients on top of heating your rice. So that can actually burn your bacon if you cook it all the way in this step. So don't do that. So once you get your bacon almost all the way cooked, you will see what I mean. There. You're going to scoop out the bacon grease. You're not going to want to scoop out every single drop. It's okay if you have a little amount, because that little amount of grease will help with the rice not sticking to the pan when we get there. So scoop it out with a spoon, put it in a jar to throw out. Do not pour grease down your sink. Don't do that. Big no-no. Put it in a jar and then throw it in the trash can. Now you're going to add your chopped onions. None of this has measurements, because we just kind of play it by how much rice we have. So if we don't have a lot of rice, we only use about like half the bacon, and then we only use maybe like a small tiny bowl of onions. Also, if you don't like onions, my family likes onions, so we do put a lot of onions in our fried rice. But if you don't like onions, don't put as many in. You can add as many as you'd like, or as little as you'd like. That's the great thing about this, and it won't necessarily affect the flavor of all of it, so don't worry about that. So we make a little hole in the middle of the pan and then put the onions right in the center, and then I just kind of stir it around in the middle until the onions kind of start to turn clear. So this would be the point where you could add vegetables if you'd like, and an already cooked egg. So last step would be to add your rice. So just plop the rice right in the center. I cut it up with my spoon, literally like until it's into smaller pieces, and then you can start incorporating the bacon and onions into the rice, and soon it will all just kind of spread out across the pan. I do kind of turn down the heat a little bit, so I go from like a 5 to a 4, so like maybe not so high on the medium high side and more to the medium side, and I let it continue to cook. This you will still need to continually stir it so that the bottom doesn't burn, but the rice heats all the way through. I prefer my rice to have a little bit of a crispy bottom, so I let my rice sit a little bit longer on the pan. But if you just want your fried rice to be hot, you can just continually mix it until it is fully warm or really hot, and then serve. This step does take a while. just because there's a lot of rice, but it's really worth it. So once you get it to the temperature that you like, or like me, you want a crispy bottom, once you get there, you can serve it up and eat it. I did not add a fried egg this time, but it's really good with fried egg on top, so I highly suggest it. Yeah, you did it. Congrats. Thank you so much for watching this video. It is a really simple recipe, and I really do think that beginners do have the capability of being able to make fried rice. If you have any questions, you can ask me on my Instagram or leave a comment down below. It can be for cooking bacon specifics, or even how to make rice. Trust me, I still have some issues with making rice, but I do have a mom who makes great rice. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really do hope that you try out this really simple fried rice recipe. I know for beginners it can be kind of scary, but you can ask me any questions that you have on my Instagram, or here, comment down below, wherever you feel most comfortable. Good luck.
Where I'm
Bye.
going isn't far, but in case I go, no need to be stressed, gotta take it home, it's there. I really miss the shade.